The entire history of Conor McGregor, I guess. Imagine you're fixing toilets at 5 AM, your hands smell weird, life's miserable. Then suddenly, you're drop-kicking world champions, trash-talking billionaires, buying yachts named after welfare checks, and casually becoming the most memeable athlete on earth. Welcome to Conor McGregor's life. It's violent, hilarious, controversial, and somehow makes perfect sense. Buckle up, we're going full notorious. It's 1988 in Crumlin, Dublin, a place about as glamorous as a Monday hangover. July 14th, Margaret McGregor, a hard-working laundry lady, and Tony McGregor, your friendly neighborhood taxi driver, welcome a scrappy little Irish tornado named Conor Anthony into their world. Yep, that's right, the future champ's mom's washing clothes, dad's navigating Dublin traffic, and baby Conor's already plotting world domination. Probably. Fast forward a bit, he's 12, kicking soccer balls around but mostly getting kicked around himself. The kid's skinny, mouthy, and has this weird energy that bullies seem to love and hate simultaneously. So what does he do? Signs up at Crumlin Boxing Club to punch back legally. Coach Phil Sutcliffe takes one look and thinks, this scrawny kid actually hits like a grown man? Still, school sucks. Bullies get bolder, and young Conor, being the absolute mad lad that he is, starts carrying a dumbbell in his backpack. Half unzipped, just ready for war. Imagine you're bullying a tiny Irish kid and suddenly he pulls out gym equipment mid-fight like he's about to deadlift your ego. Thankfully, it never comes to that. By 17, reality kicks in. His parents, Tony and Margaret, solid, respectable folks, say, Conor, lad, it's time for a real job. So he becomes a plumber's apprentice. Sounds stable, right? Nope. Our man wakes up at 5 AM, walks through freezing darkness, spends 12 hours elbow deep in misery, pipes, and existential dread. His own words, cold, wet, dark, 12-hour days? Not for me. Gee, who would have guessed? Around this exact miserable era, he's in some Dublin nightclub, probably not entirely sober, and spots Dee Devlin across the room. Instant chemistry. Dee has no clue she's about to become half of one of the most chaotic, romantic, and financially volatile relationships in sports history. Neither does Conor. Plumber by day, puncher by night. Something finally snaps. One grey Dublin morning, Conor looks at his plumbing tools, whispers absolutely not, and tosses stability out of the window. He quits on the spot. Plumbing is dead. Conor McGregor, MMA fighter, is officially born, and the world has no idea what it's in for. So here is Conor swaggering into Dublin's straight blast gym like he owns the place, because mentally he already does. John Kavanagh, the Zen master turned coach, takes one look at this loudmouth kid shadowboxing air and thinks, dear God, what have I signed up for? They dive headfirst into full-time MMA training, and Conor absolutely loves it. Loves the bruises, loves the sweat, probably loves trash-talking random gym equipment as well. His amateur debut comes around in 2007. Conor casually strolls into the cage and wins by TKO. Because why wouldn't he? Confidence level officially dangerous. Next year, 2008, turns pro in something dramatically called Cage of Truth. Could you be any more Irish dramatic, Conor? But plot twist, reality smacks him hard. He loses 2 out of his first 6 pro fights. Imagine quitting plumbing for glory and immediately getting your face rearranged. Yikes. But Conor McGregor, Conor does not understand how to quit. He goes into some borderline psycho-training montage, emerges ripped, focused, and scarier than ever. And then, brace yourself, in 2011, this man knocks a fighter out cold in 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That's faster than microwave popcorn. Faster than you decided you liked Squid Game. Faster than your last Tinder date realized it was going nowhere. Word spreads. Suddenly he's viral before viral was even really a thing. Then 2012 hits and Conor says, I'll take both Cage Warriors belts. Thanks very much. Featherweight? Check. Lightweight? Double check. He is now the first European ever holding 2 belts simultaneously. Living history. Barely living off welfare checks of £188 a week. Yeah, he's a champ eating noodles and dreaming millions. Meanwhile, over in America, UFC boss Dana White randomly strolls into Dublin, hears whispers about some Irish kid who fights like he owes the devil money, and goes, alright, who the hell is this Conor McGregor? Dana signs him, but fun fact alert, almost cuts him loose after just 1 potential loss. Conor, in a move only he could pull off, deadpan straight to Dana's face. Relax, I'm the chosen one. The absolute nerve. But plot twist again, it works. Dana listens, Conor stays. Buckle up UFC, your new nightmare's about to clock in. April 6, 2013, Stockholm, Sweden. Conor McGregor strolls into the octagon against Marcus Primage, who's already flexing and bouncing like he's about to prove something. Spoiler alert, he proves nothing. 67 seconds later, Marcus is on the floor staring up at lights, probably wondering if he left the stove on. Conor pockets a cool 60 grand knockout of the night bonus, instantly upgrading from welfare checks to VIP checks. The post-fight interview hits different. Suddenly everyone's asking, who is this cocky, tattooed Irishman with the attitude of a millionaire and an accent straight out of Guy Ritchie movie? Twitter loses its collective mind, Dana White's eyes flash dollar signs, and overnight, Conor McGregor goes from nobody to notorious. But then, reality check. A few months later, he's up against a young Max Holloway, and snap, there goes the ACL. Most fighters would tap. Conor, he shrugs, adjusts his stance, and finishes the fight anyway, on one leg, because of course he does. 10-month rehab incoming, but don't worry, this is just the start. July 2014, Conor walks out in front of a sold-out hometown Dublin crowd. The energy? Ridiculous. Imagine every Irish pub exploding at once. Yeah, louder than that. He drops Diego Brandao like bad Wi-Fi, grabs the mic, and drops one of the coldest lines ever. We're not here to take part, we're here to take over. Instant chills, instant meme. Congrats, you're officially famous, kid. Then Dustin Poirier steps up, talking tough like he's ready for war. Conor smiles, shrugs, and says he's knocking him out in one round. Nobody believes him. But whoops, he does exactly that. The hype train officially leaves the station. Now everyone's talking Conor, dressing Conor, breathing Conor. Man's face is everywhere. Trash talk turns into high art. Interviews become stand-up specials. He is roasting reporters, mocking opponents, and somehow charming your grandma at the same time. Fast forward, it's July 2015. Chad Mendes comes into the cage and wrestles Conor like he owes him lunch money. Fans are panicking. This is it. Haters chant, Conor's finally getting cooked. But round 2, McGregor suddenly remembers he's, Conor freaking McGregor, and boom, Chad's down, Conor's the champ. But wait, it gets crazier. December arrives and it's Jose Aldo, 10-year undefeated legend, the man no one beats. McGregor walks out to Sinead O'Connor singing the Foggy Dew live. Honestly, the most Irish thing ever. Aldo steps forward, confident, unstoppable, unbeatable. And he's unconscious in 13 seconds. 13 seconds. That's quicker than heating up leftover pizza. Quicker than remembering your Netflix password, and quicker than regretting a bad text. Overnight, McGregor becomes a global superstar. MMA is not a niche anymore. Suddenly, your mom knows who Conor McGregor is. Fighting just went mainstream, all because one loudmouth Irish plumber decided to show up and break reality. Now Conor's chasing another title, this time at lightweight against Rafael dos Anjos. But then, boom, dos Anjos injures himself and pulls out. Conor shrugs, says whatever, and suddenly he's fighting Nate Diaz at welterweight, 2 weight classes higher. That's like training months for a tennis match and suddenly being asked to play basketball. No big deal, right? At the press conference, Nate Diaz, California's king of casual trash talk, says something mildly irritating. Conor claps back without skipping a beat. I slap people for a living. Internet breaks, memes explode, and everyone suddenly becomes a UFC fan. But fight night rolls around, and Nate Diaz refuses to follow the script. Diaz eats punches like snacks and then casually shocks the world by choking Conor out. The arena's stunned. Twitter implodes. Conor lost? Impossible. Even gravity looks confused. Then comes the rematch hype, and things get weird. At the press conference, Diaz tosses water bottles across the room, and Conor responds by literally throwing Monster Energy cans at Diaz's team. Absolute chaos. Dana White's soul momentarily leaves his body. Conor gets fined $150,000, probably worth every penny for meme immortality. August 2016, the rematch hits and everyone's nervous. Will Conor lose again? It's a wild fight. Both fighters basically punching the soul out of each other, but Conor survives, winning a close decision. Redemption? Check. But wait, there is more. Conor being Conor decides one belt is not enough. Goes down to lightweight to fight champ Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205 in November. Madison Square Garden, NYC baby. Alvarez tries talking tough. Conor laughs in his face. Honestly feels bad for Alvarez. Conor absolutely toys with him. It's over quick. Conor holds 2 belts simultaneously, something literally nobody else has ever done in UFC history. And when Joe Rogan hands him the mic, Conor pauses dramatically, like he's about to get emotional. Then, boom, mic drop moment. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I would like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. Legend status unlocked. But wait, Conor's just getting started. It's 2017 now and he's bored out of just kicking people in the face. He decides boxing sounds fun, because why not, right? Oh, and he chooses Floyd Mayweather, who's only 49-0, literally never lost. No biggie. It's basically like challenging Michael Jordan to basketball or trying to outswim a dolphin. But Conor's vibe is logic optional. They go on a world press tour and honestly it's chaos. Conor wears a pinstripe suit, and if you zoom in real close, the pinstripes literally spell out "fuck you." This man's level of trolling deserves its own museum exhibit. Every boxing expert on earth is laughing. They're like, haha, cute, stick to MMA. But then the fight night arrives. August 26th, Las Vegas. The world's tuned in, Twitter's ready to explode, and suddenly Conor's landing punches. Like actual punches, 111 of them. More punches on Floyd than Manny Pacquiao did, and Manny's literally a boxing legend. Okay, sure, Floyd still wins in the 10th round, but honestly, who cares? Conor just banked somewhere between $100 and $130 million. Basically enough money to never fight again and still buy Ireland. Overnight, he goes from famous fighter to global superstar. By 2021, Forbes even crowns him the highest paid athlete on the planet. That's right, an ex-plumber from Dublin just out-earned Ronaldo, Messi, and LeBron. But here is the thing about running the world. It's easy to lose control. It's 2018, Conor's been chilling a little bit too much. And suddenly UFC's like, hey champ, maybe actually fight? He does not. So they strip both belts. Ouch. And here is where things go from wild to straight up Netflix documentary. April 2018, Brooklyn, Conor hears Khabib Nurmagomedov messed with his friend. Most people send angry texts. Conor, he literally shows up and throws a dolly through Khabib's bus window. Yeah, a freaking dolly. Police arrest him, footage hits Twitter faster than your group chat, and suddenly everyone's wondering, wait, did Conor just go from funny crazy to crazy crazy? Fast forward October 2018, UFC 229, McGregor vs Khabib. The biggest UFC fight ever. And the trash talk, it goes from funny to nasty real quick. Conor crosses lines, mocking Khabib's religion, family, the works. Even diehard fans cringe a little bit. Fight night arrives, Conor talks big, and Khabib quietly looks like he's plotting murder. And well, he kinda does. Conor taps out again. But wait, this is not even the craziest part. Khabib wins, jumps the cage, dives into the crowd, fights Conor's team. Suddenly, Vegas looks like WrestleMania gone wrong. Riot ensues, security panics, Twitter explodes again, and UFC slaps suspensions on both. Conor's reputation, let's just say the shine is fading fast. Turns out, even the loudest mouth can get silenced. Who knew? So Conor hits 2019 and suddenly tweets out he's retiring, like again. But this lasts about as long as your last diet, and he's back by January 2020 fighting a guy literally called Cowboy. The match lasts 40 seconds. Seriously, less time than heating up your microwave burrito. He literally shoulder bumps Cowboy's face, knocks him out, and the world is like, wait, can you even do that? Then something weird happens. Conor starts acting humble. Less yelling, less trash talking, it's like he matured. Nah, hold that thought. 2021 rolls around and Conor faces Dustin Poirier. Not once, but twice. First fight, everyone expects classic Conor. Reality check, Poirier knocks him out cold. Yikes. Rematch later that year, this is Conor's redemption moment, right? Wrong. Horrific leg break in round 1. Like, leg literally snaps. Conor on the ground, stretcher ready, still yelling at Dustin, "Your wife is in me DMs." Classy Conor, very chill. Meanwhile, outside the cage, he's racking up controversies faster than Spotify ads. Punched an old guy in a pub because he didn't like Conor's whiskey. Several allegations of assault pop up. One ends with Conor paying nearly £250,000 in damages. Twitter, it's a mess. He's posting insane things at 3 AM then deleting them 10 seconds later, because obviously that fixes everything. Oh, and he threw out the first pitch at a baseball game, and it went hilariously wrong, like instant meme level bad. But it's not all chaos. McGregor's a business beast now. He launches proper number 12 whiskey, sells it for $150 million, opens his own pub, the Black Forgen, and even stars in Call of Duty. Yeah, the video game. Netflix makes another doc about him, because you know the chaos never ends. He's basically a full-time influencer with over 47 million Instagram followers, because why not? In 2023, Conor tries coaching on The Ultimate Fighter against Michael Chandler. UFC schedules a massive comeback fight for June 2024. Conor bulks up past 200 pounds, starts living that yacht life, becoming the world's most shredded meme. But then out of nowhere, press conference cancelled. Rumors of injury swirl. Suddenly the fight is off. No comeback, no Conor. And now it's March 2025, Conor's sitting somewhere probably on a yacht, counting cash and living his best billionaire strut life. He's got a $200 million net worth, enough tattoos to star in an action movie, and no one knows if he will ever fight again. But hey, knowing Conor McGregor, this story's nowhere near over yet.